Good afternoon. So let me start from where we have left last week. Right. Hope you are just gone through the tunes as well, right? Okay. So we will start with this tute. I just T1, right? We are doing human resource management. And then just to recapitulations of previous class about HRM, what we discussed, we started the new area, that is human resource management, and we define what is human resource management, and we explain what is an organization, and under that definition, right, what is goal and what is human resource, why human resource considered as most significant resources when you are compared with other resources. And then we discuss why it is important to use your human resources efficiently and effectively in order to achieve your organizational objectives. And we then discuss the basic goals or generic purpose of HRM, and then we further discuss the strategic goals of HRM, and then we discuss the objective of HRM, right? So those are the things what we've discussed last time, right? If you have not attended, please use your recorded version. And then in order to achieve objectives are there to achieve strategic goals, and strategic goals are there to achieve a generic purpose of HRM. And in order to achieve all these things, what we need functions of HRM. Now, there are so many functions: job design, job analysis, recruitment, selection, induction. All functions are there to achieve the those objectives, right? And then we discuss what is the difference between personal management versus human resource management, right? So earlier we discussed personal management, right? How it differ from uh, how it differ from um, how is it differ from personal management, right? And then we discuss the three main areas we need to focus on HRM, that is well-being of the employees, well-being of the society, and well-being of the organization. And then we discuss in detail why HRM is important, right? And now after that we discuss the strategic importance. We call human resource management, and we further strengthen, we call strategic human resource management, because the human resource management need to be linked to corporate strategic plan. That is why we call strategic human resource management. And then last week we started the one of the main functions of human resource management. We started the concept called job design, right? Under job design, we discuss the significance of and importance of job design, and there we have discussed job design techniques. Now, under job design techniques, so we discussed the most important thing, job expansion, and under that we discuss job enlargement and job enrichment and job rotation. And where we have stopped last time under job rotation, and there may be a lot of questions are coming from job rotation, and we discuss why, what are the objective of job rotation, and then it is a mandatory according to the central bank. You need to change. Job rotation needs to be done in your in your organization, right? So this is where we have stopped last night. Then we we have some more areas to be done in the T1, that the Tute 1. So let's look at it now. What is job analysis? That's a second function of human resource management, right? Okay, now let's look at it. What is job analysis? Now remember, the job analysis in fact is a primary functions of human resource management. Why? Because it proceed a set of information that essential for performance of other human resource function, right? So job analysis is therefore basically is a one functions of human resource management, right? So why we need to do to have a job analysis? That means it facilitate or it provide information, set of information that are essential for successful performance of the other functions of the human resource management. Right. Now let's look at it. What is job analysis? Now today being a Sunday. Right. Now let's look at it. Now if you see any advertisement of newspaper, job advertisement, so basically, they talk about job analysis. If you see press advertisement, job advertisements is today's Sunday Observer or Sunday Times. What you can see in a job advertisement is job analysis, right? Now let's look at it. What is job analysis? So it is a, now if your definitions comes like this, so you need to break it these definitions, right? It's very simple. First one, job analysis is a systematic investigation, right? Job analysis is a systematic investigation. What do you mean by a systematic? Some procedure to be adapted, right? Systematic investigation. Then the questions come, investigation of what? Systematic investigations of two things. What are the two things? Jobs and a job holder characteristics. Job and a job holder characteristics. Why you need to collect informations about job and a job holder? Because that can be used to perform various HRM functions, right? So that is job analysis. Now sometimes you see uh, a big large organization, maybe we are having around large number of people who are working, there may be a specific job title called a job position called job analyst, right? His job is to do an analysis, right? So then what is job analysis? Simply it is a systematic investigations of two things. What are the two things? Job and a job holder. Systematic investigations of job and a job holder characteristics. Now, why we need to analyze all these, collect information for that will facilitate to carry out your various other functions. Now, in job analysis, basically what you're involving, collecting information, then you need to evaluate these information and regarding the jobs of your organization. That is what you call job analysis, right? So what are the advantages of, now only thing you need to remember, the moment you think about job analysis, what do you mean by job analysis? Job and a job holder characteristics, right? Now you look at it in your I'll come back to that, right? So what are the importance of job analysis? Now what is definition state? Job analysis facilitate, perform various other functions, right? Now what are the, why it is important to perform various other. Now, job analysis facilitates HR planning to determining recruitment, determining replacement. So, job analysis, we need facilitate selections of people, training and development. Now, what are all these things? all things are basically HRM functions. So all the things we are going to discuss, we have already discussed job design, right? These are some functions of human resource management. So job analysis will facilitate to perform these functions as well, right? Okay. Now let's look at it, how we are going to collect information about the jobs, right? Now, okay. Now, one way you can do collect informations about the job and the job holder, right? Now, say, say for an example, uh, banking assistant, or he's in the cashier or counter. So you can think or you can observe what he's doing, and you can get an idea the day what is the job. That's a job, right? Accepting cash, giving money, again withdrawal money. So you can observe. Then again, the next one, you was requested to write down what you are doing as a job, right? And also the participation mean um, you want to see you can do that job. If you want to collect information, you can do that job and see how many clients, how many customers you can serve for day like that. Then you can give him a questionnaire and ask him to fill what you are doing, or maybe you can have an interview. So, but don't worry much of this, right? I'm just explaining to you. Now, you are collecting information by using these methods. What are the information you are going to collect? Job and a job hold, right? That is job analysis. Okay. Now, so usually the job analysis consists of two components. Remember, job analysis is consist of two component. That is what a job description, a list of job duties, responsibilities, to whom you are reporting, what is your working condition, who are and supervisory responsibilities and things. Talk about the job, collect information pertaining to job. So that is job description. We call JD. You know, according to the Central Bank of Sri Lanka, every employee, especially the executives, must have a job description. It's a must. So you know you what to do, right? This is your job, right? The second part of that we call job specification. So the job specification is usually about the job holder. Talk about the job is job description. Job holder characteristics called job specification. In order to perform your job, what are the qualification you have, or what are the skills you require, or what are the experience you require, right? So that is what you call job specification. Now you can remember, think about the job press advertisement, right? Job advertisement. So what is press advertisement is talk about these two things. Of course, they may put a reputed bank in Sri Lanka, leading bank, commercial bank in Sri Lanka, looking for banking assistant, right? And what you are going to do, they talk. So that is banking assistant is what? Job description. And they talk about these are the things you need to do. And down you see, these are the requirements you need to have it. One, A level, say for an example, A level, preferably degree like that, experience in another bank, right? And something like that you mention under that. So that is job specification. So therefore, remember any job advertisement, job advertisement, you can see these two components: job description and job specification. So job description means about the job, collecting information about the job, in order to perform that particular job, what you require is called job holder characteristics. Right now, I think you know uh, uh, important the difference between job descriptions and job specific. In mind you, job these two components are byproduct of job analysis, right? Okay, let look at it again further about the job description. Actually, it is a descriptive statement. So, so it is usually given with your appointment letter, or in your transfer. Also, they can give a job description, and that descriptions talk about what are your duties, purposes, responsibilities, your scope, your working condition, your designation, where is your job working place, right? And all things to whom you are going to report, all things are explained under job description. The things you need to do, where you need to do, where to whom you are responsible, right? And job title, all comes explained under job description, right? And it you can now, if you are not fulfilling your job, right, so you can take actions against you based on the job description. So therefore the job description providing smoothing your performance, you know what you need to do, right? And remember, it is a legal document, that is we call quasi a legal document. To once issue to your employee, it become contractual, right? Right. We discuss customer, bank, we have a contractual relationship. Likewise, the job description is a contractual relationship between bank and an employee, right? So therefore, is a valid document, job description. That is why. Now, again, if you go further, you see what are the contents of the job description, job title, purpose, salary, grade. Now you see, the job in your advertisement also you can sometimes salary. Otherwise, if they say salary scale is like this, 15,000 to 25,000, or sometimes you can say salary negotiable, right? Okay, so these are the some of the things listed down in your job description, right? And this is a very examiner's very famous question, right? About the job description. So what you need to know about the job description? You need to know what is job description, what are the contents, and things. Okay, right. Then you look at it, the other part of job analysis we call job specification. Now again, in the job advertisement, you see, yeah, of course, they talk about the minimum qualification required to perform in a particular job. That is job holder characteristics. Job holder characteristics, right? So the job specification is statement of employee characteristics. It can be, it sometimes can be a educational qualification. It can be a experience, and it can be a professional qualification. Apart from that, it can also be a considering what it be considering the physical factors. Now, say for an example, if there is a job for banks, security, they will ask height, papua, and they will ask all these things, right? Okay, because those are the requirement to perform your job as a security person, right? It's not necessary for qualification, experience, but maybe sometimes personality factors, right? Some physical characteristics, height and things like that. So you have enough other what sort of training you required and things like that. So those are we call job holders characteristics. So therefore, remember, job analysis can be divided into two, one or byproducts. One is job and the job holders characteristics. Job description talk about the job. Job specification talk about the requirement to perform that job. That is job holder characteristics. Right? Okay. So examiner can ask what are the component of job analysis. Then what may be the answer? Job description and job specification. Right. Now I'll give you a small question. Right? And try to answer next time. Right? I will answer, but try to do it at home. Right? I don't know whether you are doing or not. I don't know, but try to do these questions with this your knowledge. Please write down this question. Okay, uh, very easy one, right? Very easy one. Okay, compare job description and job specification. Right, this time examine, this time there may be a question on this. What is the difference between, right, job descriptions and job specification? Can you do it? Not to now. Can you do it at home at next week? Right? I'll just give you a clue. So what you need to do, and I'll give you some similarities. I'm asking differences, right? What are the similarities? Can anybody tell me what is the similarities? Right? සමානකම් එකක් කියන්න. Can okay, I will ask for Mohammed. Can you tell me one similarities? Huh? Dilshan? Dilshan? No? Dilshan? Oh yeah, Dilshan. What are the similarities? Both are byproduct of job analysis, right? Those are component of job analysis, right? And the other one is basically the another difference between job specifications and job description. Those are both are measuring rod, both are measuring about human. So therefore, what is job analysis is consist of two. What are the consisting of two parts? Job specifications and job description. Job description is basically talk about job. Job specification is talk about the person characteristics or the job holder's characteristics. What type of job, what type of qualification experience you require to perform that job. Right? So that is what you call job description. In a newspaper advertisement, job advertisement, what you can see, job descriptions and job specification. Right. So the homework for next week, what is the difference between job descriptions and job specification? If a question comes like that, I feel it this time there may be a questions something similar to this. What is things? So you can say first what you have to do, give them definitions. What is job description? What is job specification? And you can say describe. So what is job description? Describe the job. Where the and job specification describe the person, right? Okay, right. Job characteristics they talk about. They of course they talk about the profile of the person, right? Things like that. You try to. I will give the answer next time, but it is better for you to write down the differences between job descriptions and job analysis. Okay, right. Now we move in again to right where we have left last week, and then we will continue today's tute. Right, I will do some questions end of the class. Right now, you take the tute number 2. So that part, job analysis part, we have remained there. I mean, we need to complete it. Last week we have stopped and the job design. So up to now, you see, we have already learned two job human resource functions. What are the two functions we have already discussed? Job design and job analysis, right? So Fast questions, if you look at it, they ask questions on both areas, right? Not big questions, right? They ask one time they ask what is job descriptions and what are the content of a job description, and sometimes they ask what is job rotation, why it is important for a bank, and then to component of job analysis. But I am giving you a different question. What is that question? What is the difference between job description and job specification? Okay, right. I hope you understood, right? And then we moving to the other functions of human resource management is human resource planning, right? Human resource planning. Now, why human resource planning? So we need to have adequate people to perform your organization, to achieve your organization goals and objectives, right? Now, human resource planning is the process of, right? Planning is always a process, series of activities, process of determining future employee needs for your organization. Not only that, and deciding what sort of strategies you are using to fulfill these human needs, employee needs, thereby accumulating or accomplishing organizational objectives. Now, what is human resource management? So, so we need efficiently and effectively use of human, right? For that, we need to plan human resource. How many people you need? Any organization, 10 people. Now, say for example, for branch, what is the number of employees usually for branch? It depends on the type of branches. Super great branch. There are banks are categorized their branches differently, right? With super grade, A grade, B grade, some banks are like that, right? They categorize. Therefore, depend on the size of the branch, there may be a different number of employees are required, right? For bank, they take the entire picture, right? So therefore, what is human resource planning, right? So it is a process of determining the future employees' need for an organization, not only determining the future employees' need, and to find it out what are the strategies we are using to fulfill these needs in order to achieve our organizational objective. Now remember, so this definition, I told you how to remember these things, right? And you don't want to have a same words, right? But you need to give a meaning, like job analysis, right? So can you remember now job analysis? Right. Something similar to that. What is human resource management? Determining human requirements, future human requirements, and also decide, okay, how to fulfill these requirements. So what are the strategies you require to fulfill this requirement, right? But sometimes, uh, uh, people think human resource planning is not necessary. Why? Various factors. They think sometimes they don't know what is human resource planning, and they don't understand about what is human resource planning, right? So therefore, they are not much consider on this area. Okay, now let's look at it. Why it is important, right? Why it was important. So why? Because it is determining the future employee needs, right? Okay. And also remember to utilize human resource more efficiently and effectively. Now you may recall what is efficiently and effectively. I'll explain last times also. So who discovered efficiently and effective theory is one Mr. Peter Drucker, the father of modern management, right? The difference between efficiently and effectively, I told you, right? The in order to understand that two words, I told you I'm going to cover entire uh, entire human resource subject area in today, then I am be efficient, right? But if you can't understood anything, I am not effective, right? So if you understood and I have delivered the entire HR subject today, so I've been efficient and effective, right? So that's a meaning. So and also the control employee cost, because why we need to control employee cost? I told you in the bank, what is the major cost? Interest cost. The second largest cost incurred by bank other than the interest cost is the employee cost. We don't want to have a excess people in the bank, right? Banks are very concerned. So therefore, we need to plan exactly how many people you need. Thereby, you can reduce the employee cost. And also, what you need. So we need to develop talented employees, right? Who talented employee mean a competent employees, right? And also remember, HR planning will support your strategic plan. Now, how it happened? How HR plan supports strategic plan? Like this. Now, say for an example, your strategic plan, you decided to open 10 branches in 2021. Suppose in your bank strategy plan, you propose to open 10 branches during 2021. Now, say for example, for one new branch, you need 5 people. So, how many people you need? 50 people, right? So, what is your strategy plan objective? Open 10 branches, right? Then how the HR planning contributing to strategic plan? By recruiting people. How many people? 50 people, and put into the new branches, right? So that is how HR planning supports strategic plan. I think you understood on that. Okay, so you see there are a lot of importance of HR in planning, right? Okay, and it is an remember, so objectives of HR plan, as I told you, is a requirement and sufficient suitable staff. Otherwise, most of the time, sometime when you're working in a branch, you talk, I can't take a leave because not enough staff, the manager not good mood if you are take leaves, and so many things, right? So you need to have a suitable, sufficient staff to perform your activity, right? And also it is important to retain your employees, right? I will explain to you why people are leaving the organizations and things like that. And also it is a manager's job to get the maximum utilizations of your staff, as well as the get the staff, improve your staff performance by training, by motivating you, like that. Okay, right. So now let's look at it. The most important thing, what is the human resource process? Now I told you process means series of activities. Okay, right. Now first we look at it, the process of human resource requirement. Okay, now let's look at it, this process. Forecast future demand for HR. Now, I'll give you an example a little while ago. Forecast future demand for HR. Right. Now, say for one reason, okay, from 2021 as an HR manager, you need to calculate how many people I need in 2021. How many people you need to in your bank in 2021. That is forecast future demand. Then the second step, estimate HR supply. That means 2021, how many people are at the moment you are having, right? How many people you are having? So suppose your future demand is 100, say 3,000. Now presently you are having 2,900. then you see there is a gap. Then you need to analyze, compare forecast demand with estimated supply. So you identify there is a 100 employee shortage. Now what you are going to do? Now you are going to do as an HR manager to fill these 100 people. What to do? So how are you going to fill this one? To give extra work to the existing staff and take from them and put in that? Or maybe you are going to take outside. So that is the HR process. Now let's look at it in detail, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 steps in detail. Okay, first we look at it, forecast future demand for HR. Now, what are the techniques as an HR manager you must be having to forecast future demand? Right? I have already told you. Okay, you can write under that one first factors affecting future demand. Right? Factors affecting future demand. One already I told you, factors affecting future demand. What is that? Number one is based on your strategic goal. Number one, based on your strategic goal. What is your strategic goal? Open 10 branches. So then from that you get an idea in 2021. If you look at it, your strategic plan, where they talk about they are going to open 2021 10 branches, 5% for one branch. Therefore, how much of you are having need? Forecast future demand, extra 50 because you are going to open new branches. Right. So how many staff you required in 2021? 20. 50 people. Right. So one rate based on your strategic goal. Right. Second reason, right? How many people are resignation, right? How many people are leaving the organization? Now you have an experience with your fast information. That is what you call forecast. You can't predict. You look at fast figures. You can say last 3, 4 years, every year there may be a 20 people are leaving the organization. They may going abroad, maybe going for another job. So you have get an estimated figure. So you can fill that figure. Now 50, 20. That is your future requirement. Right. Then you can say something again. Some are retirement. Some people are really easy, no? So you look at it, this is the organization retirement age is 60, for example. You know how many people going to be falling with 60, 20, 21. Say 20 people going to retire. So you need to forecast how many people you need to recruit in 2021, another 20, because why? There are 20 people are retiring. So that you can get from this thing. Some people are dead. Some people are while working, you have to estimate it. That is why called forecast. So you have a death. So next point is death, resignation, death, retirement, sometimes promotion. Sometimes you are promoted some people. Now in that layer there is a vacancy. So you can see how many people you are promoted during this year. So there is a vacant positions there. Right. Then another one you can say, another point you can say, due to external factors. That's important in today's context. The next point is due to external factors, right? Why? Because you see under COVID-19 situation, so a lot of organization, right, may reduce the staff, maybe due to external factors. They was give sometimes they give you packages to go, right. Okay, so they are working very less staff. So thereby you can now think about forecast your future demand, right? Some people are resigning, some people are terminated, some people are promoted, some people dying, some people are retired, and based on your organizational goals, based on the external factors, you can forecast how much of how many people you need in 2020. Why? Right? Okay. Now let's look at it supply side. Right? Now, how can you get a supply? How to estimate your supply? So, you have an inventory like goods. You have a HR inventory in your organization. From the HR department, you can say how many people are working in different categories, different grades. For that, we can so there are two sources of supply. One internal, other one is external, right? Okay, so you can source of supply now. So first, usually you look at it, how many people you can get it from internal, from the current employee. How many of the current employee can be promoted, can be transferred, like that. Okay, so internal HR supply, usually you do through, we call them as auditing. Audit, HR audit, right? There's a audit HR. There's a concept called audit HR, but don't worry, where it give you all the data informations pertaining to the employees, their age, competencies, their capabilities, educational qualification. With that, supported with what you call succession plan, will give you HR supply. We're going to discuss succession plan little later on, right? Okay, now you have a HR supply with you, right? Now you know how many people are you want. Suppose you need more people, but you have a short supply. So then what strategies you can do under shortages condition? First strategy, you can ask your existing staff to work overtime, right? It's temporary you can do. Or you can subcontract to other organizations. You can get the works done from another organization, right? Then hire part-time employees. Part-time employees, right? Now, and also now that is why you sometimes you see if you have a shortages in banking assistant, what you do? We call interns. We call A level students to work for a shorter period. Every year, after maybe 3 6 months, they are going down. Then another A level set comes, right? So you can use this temporary part-time employees as well, right? Or you otherwise you can go for capital substitution. That means so the people manuring work done by people replaced by machines, like automations of your core banking or automation of your process, right? Banking process. Thereby, you can reduce the staff. Digitalization, you can reduce the staff. You don't want to, if suppose if you have a more uh, uh, machines for deposit them and withdraw, check depositing, recycling cash machines and things like that. You don't want people to come to the branch. So therefore you don't want much teller, right? Okay, so that is what you call capital substitution, right? So these are the method you are using. Okay, if not, so what you go for hire permanent full-time employees from outside. Now, say for a hotels. Now, good example for hotels. Hotels during the hotel season, but they temporarily hire people, right? Okay. So then look at it. Suppose you have a more than employees, surplus employees than what you required in 2022. Again, so you can say now we stop hiring new employees. Then what else? You can reduce overtime, no overtime, because you have enough staff. Then, so we can give you a voluntary retirement benefits. By කියලා යවනවා. මාස දෙකක පඩි දීලා. So what you call voluntary retirement. Then sometimes you was asked not to come to work, right? And you yourself finding out job for them, some for the other organization, or maybe reduce the expenditure. Right now, you see in this COVID-19, so the employee cost was requested to reduce by 30%. More other all these other special other special benefits was cut down. A salary also given some 50% of the full salary. So likewise, sometimes you can take a decision, right? So these are the some of the things you can do if you're having excess staff, right? Okay. So formal outplacement facilities, so you provide job opportunities another organization, right? So these are the some of the strategies you can use, depend on excess or shortage of your labor, right? I hope you understood that part, right? Termination mean you were terminate, I mean too much of people. So if those people who are under probation can terminate it, right? Okay. So now you see how important the human resource planning in an organization, right? You will understand now how important the human resource planning, because you need to be rationally planned without your recruitment. We are going to discuss next step is the recruitment. So why it is important recruitment? If you need for that, you need to have a proper planning to identify how many people you are going to recruit, right? And it's a cost, because if you have too much of people also a cost, to less people also problem, because you cannot achieve your organizational. So therefore it is a job, it is important to have a correct people, quality people, correct amount in your organization to achieve your organization. Okay, understand why HR plan is important for your organization, right? And then, so we discuss one of the alternative strategies that managers can adapt in case of manpower shortage is procurement of new employees. That's the thing is, no, if you have a shortage, you can get it outside person. If there's a job market, there's enough people in the market, you can easily take. But sometimes some policy in an organization, before they look at it, outside people to recruit, and they have first look at it whether internal people is available to perform that job, right? And that is what you call succession plan. And this is a very examiner's famous question also. Examiner will ask you to write down short notes about succession planning. And remember, succession planning, it is a mandatory plan you need to prepare according to the Central Bank of Sri Lanka. There are three plans you need to prepare according to the central bank. Every bank must prepare three type of plan. One plan is strategic plan. You are going to learn during your DABF. What is strategic plan? Second plan is business continuity plan. That is what you call BCP plan. The third plan every bank must have is what you call succession planning, right? So what is succession planning? That is why I told you HR audit. So you need to conduct the HR audit and find it out who is going to be the next DGM, who is going to be the next AGM, who is going to be the next GM. So organize must have a plan, right? And succession planning, therefore, developing internal people. Remember, succession plan, developing internal people. Now, I don't want to criticize some politics, but you see, some parties in Sri Lanka, right? They decide, just they are not. They have a problem. Is who is going to be the next party leader? The problem, no, why? They don't have a succession plan. They put 5, 6 people. Now every 5, 6 people are fighting for that. If you really identify now, I mean maybe 3, 4 years ago, who is going to be the next deputy leader? Now, according to one party, there may be a deputy leader, but he must come as a deputy leader. But there are so many people. Why? Because they don't have a better succession plan. Now, you see, lack of having a success plan. What happened to certain political parties in Sri Lanka? Very classic example. They are fighting. So it is a duty of an organization, therefore, to identify and developing internal people with potential. Now, who are having the potential? That is why we need to do HR audit, right? To find out who is maybe the next guy to become a leader or AGM or DGM, right? And fill the key positions in the company. Now, the succession plan is very important in the key position of the bank, right? And one way it's improve the motivations of the employee. Why? They know they can go to that destination, right? And also remember succession planning. So therefore, it's a motivational tool, and also it is a mandatory according to the central bank, right? It's a the must prepared plan. Okay, right? Okay, succession plan. So therefore, is an important. Right. So we discussed a very briefly important element of important functions of human resource management. Right. Okay. Right. Okay. Can you just give me a feedback for me whether you understood what is human resource planning? Right? Just send me a small chat, right? Or unmute your mic and just tell me whether you understood what is human resource planning, right? These are important functions of human resource management, right? Can anybody, okay, then I had to name, no? How about challenge you? Ashika, no? Right, have you understood Ashika? Or Vimandi Gunawardhana, right? So, I need your cooperation, right? You understood? Okay, right. Thank you. So then we move into the next set of is a model question, right? Now is a model question which I prepared for you. What is labor turnover and why it is important for a bank? Right? What is labor turnover? Right? Labor turnover, very simply you can say the analysis of number of people leaving the organization in a given period of time. How many people are left your organization, leave your organization? Now say for an example, how can you get a number? Usually this given as a percentage, right? Now say if you take 2019, right? Before starting 2019, you have your bank is having 4,000 employees, right? Now, end of the 2019, that means 2020 Jan 1st, you have 3,500 or 3,600, right? So then how to calculate? So now you need to look at it, right? How many people from the number you had three, for example, 4,000, 3,800 now. So how many have left? 200 divided by 300, 4,000 into 100. So what is the percentage, right? Understood? No. So it's a how to calculate. You can just under that you can write down, right? Under that you can write down, right, as a percentage, right? 2019 beginning 4,000 people. It's like this, right? Just look at it, right? 4,000 people. Now left 3,800 and into 4,000 into 100. So what is the percentage? Sorry, 100. Right? So how many people are leaving? 200. So divide by 4,000 into 100. So 2, 2, 1, 1. So here is how much? 5%. So what is your labor turnover as a percentage? 5%. So that is little high. So because of labor turnover, give you some sort of a indicator to your management, right? That means so at a given period of time, how many people leave the organization? That is labor turnover. Because labor turnover is given as a percentage like this. So then you have a is give an indication whether your employees are working happily or not, right? Because this percentage is less, that means so you don't want to recruit more people, no? So recruitment is a process, is a costly process, right? Take timing and consuming cost, right? Why people are leave? What are the reasons why people are leave the organization? Various reasons, right? More pay because of more salary, better prospect, right? That's the famous scheme, and you feel it in this your bank. You don't have a much security. You don't have a much improve your talent, skills, better working conditions, and all problems may be leading, maybe not good, boss is not good with you, or maybe was harassing you, and also personal reason also due to pregnancy, due to illness, moving away from one area to another area, right? Nobody to look after kids and things like that. So there's enough reasons to people to leave. But however, the percentage of labor turnover give you some sort of a thing, just to understand whether your employees are satisfied or not, because it's a costly. So because when you take the people, you spend more time, more money, and you need to go through the same procedure over and again, no? So therefore, you need to spend more money for that. So that is why labor turnover is a costly exercise to the bank, right? Just I give you some understanding about the labor turnover. What is labor turnover at a given period of time? How many employees are leaving the organization? Is called labor turnover. As a percentage, you explain like this, but it's a higher the percentage is not good for your organization. Then why you need to analyze why people are leaving the organization and take some precaution method, right? Okay, right. Now I told you human resource management is a is a what is that is a basically is a teledrama. It's like a teledrama, right? Series of connected. Now these today's teledramas are not connected, but it's usually it has to be linked to the preceding episode, right? But the process of procurement, now here you have to put the word HR procurement, right? It is HR is missing in this slide. Please put the process of human resource procurement, right? Consists of four main steps. Now we are moving from HR, human resource planning. Now we are moving to another four important functions of human resource management. Up to now we discussed how much? We discussed job design, job analysis, human resource planning, right? Now we are moving to another four areas. Now this we call them process of HR procurement consists of four main steps. So what are the four main steps? Recruitment, selection, hiring, induction. Recruitment, selection, hiring, induction. So usually lot of students, uh, they don't know about the human resource. They have a confusions of recruitment and selections and hiring, right? So people don't know what is these differences between these three key HR words. Some people they say, "Mao recruit kalani bank මාව recruit කළානේ බැංකුවට. What he meant? මාව ගත්තා. Recruitment is not taken you to the bank. Remember that. So I will explain to you, then you will understand what is the term recruitment mean. Okay, right. Let's go to study what is recruitment. Right? Recruitment is the process of finding and attracting suitably qualified people to apply for the employment. Searching people, right? Qualified people for the job, right? So that is recruitment, right? It is a process of seeking and attracting prospective candidates, or sometimes we call pool of candidates who can recruit it, who can select it to the job, right? So the recruitment is the process of finding, attracting suitably qualified people. Now I'll give you last time an example also. Now suppose a king having a daughter, princess. The king want to get married good prince. So what is that? So the king called all the princes to come and perform. So that is recruitment, right? Okay, right. Recruitment is the collections of potential candidates who are having required qualifications and required competencies to perform that job. Now that is basically we call them as recruitment. So the recruitment, remember, facilitate, right? Remember, facilitate other functions of human resource, right? Increase the size of the applicant pool at minimum cost, right? Okay. Now think about this. Now in your bank, there you have advertised assistant general manager credit, for example. So you put an advertisement in your bank, right? Okay, apply. Okay, forget about everything. Now you put a press advertisement. You see, suddenly you see there is an advertisement in your bank CEO. Now you saw press advertisement, bank CEO, chief executive officer. There's something wrong in your bank also. Okay, right? Can you tell me if you see advertisement in your bank, right? Okay, that's interesting topic, right? Okay, now tell me, you saw your bank, suddenly you saw there's a paper advertisement on today's Sunday Penny or Sunday Observer, CEO, chief executive officer, your bank, where all these details are given. What is that? Job, position, job, holder characteristics, right? Okay, so all this given. Something missing in your bag, no? What is that? There's something wrong or something missing in your bag. What is lacking in your bag? Can anybody tell me? If you see the CEO advertisement in your bank, that something is lacking in your bag. What is lacking in your bag? Can anybody tell me? Right? If you see CEO advertisement, something is lacking in your bag. Can Mohammed tell me what is lacking in your bag? What we have learned up to now? Dilshan, can you tell me, Dilshan, what is missing? What is lacking in your HR? Huh? Can Chalani tell me? Or anybody? Right? Sevandi, Vimandi can tell me what is lacking. If you see an advertisement today, your bank CEO vacancy post. What is lacking in your bank? What we learned up to now, HR. Something is missing, no? What is that missing? Huh? One important thing is missing. Your bank is not having what? What plan? Succession plan, right? So there's something lacking, right? Or something succession plan. Or then you may see there's no person to in your bank to perform and work as a CEO. Again, something wrong. Why? So your management or your board of directors has not find a person or not groom a person to do that job. So that is why you need to take outside person. So one thing is first is lacking your internal succession plan. Okay, understood, right? Okay, now let's look at the same question, same advertisement. Right. Now you want to recruit a CEO. So you have given he must be having experience in a from the bank and exposure to the banking operation, having an MBA, banking qualification, everything was mentioned nicely, and age is given, salary is given, negotiable with a company maintained vehicle and blah blah, everything. What is that? Job analysis, right? Given. Now, what is the job? So if you want to know what is your job now as an HR guy, you need to get maximum number of candidates to fill that job. Right now, your bank, what is HR manager's job? Is to get more people to apply. More people to apply. Suppose now you put an advertisement, you got say 100 numbers of applicant. What do you mean by that? That means HR manager what function he did very well. He did his recruitment functions very well. So what is recruitment? Is getting the large number of people for that job. So therefore HR function done very well because increase the size of the applicant pool at minimum cost. So that is job, right? So you identify qualified people to get, say, now 100 people apply. So why now? It's good. Why? Now you are going to take, you have 100 people equally qualified, equally having experience, right? So therefore your job is very, very important. Suppose if your recruitment is not good, your next step is wrong. What is the next step? So selection part. Why? Now you are going to select best out of best. If your recruitment good only, you can select the best guy. If your recruitment is wrong, so selection may be the next step. I mean, the next part of the HR is wrong. Okay, right. Now let's look at it, the recruitment process. Right. First, you need to identify your job vacancy. From where you identify the job vacancy, right? Remember, human resource planning, you identify there is a job. Then you noted, then you do a job analysis where you can have what is the required qualifications and the post for that. Second, so you look at it, what are the recruitment policies? Now, before you go external, so you see whether you have internal. Suppose your organization policy not to take outside, then first you are going to look at it whether I can fill this job internally. And then you prepare a jobs advertisement and sometimes standard forward. So these are the information you want to send to the bank, right? And then you're going to select, okay, whether it is I'm going to do internally or externally, right? And then you implement your recruit, right? Call application, put an advertisement. With internally, you call internal circular and collect information, right? Okay. So how can you recruit people? You can do internally as well as externally, as we discussed, right? One aspect is succession planning internally, or maybe you can, from the replacement chart, you can put it intranet, some internal circular, you can ask apply the particular post. Or externally, you can put a press advertisement, you can go through the job agencies and also some education institution. Okay, you can have it uh, uh, write-ins and walk-ins mean they was asked to come today, 10 Saturday was walk-in interviews, they can interviews and take the people, right? So there are different methods he's having for recruitment. Say for an example, what are the advantages if you are going to take people from internally? There are some advantages and disadvantages. So, right, what are the advantages? Less costly. Why? Because known people, you don't want to have a induction program for them. And also candidates are already oriented, right? They know what is the organization is doing. And they have a better knowledgeable about the internal candidates. අපි අර සිංහලෙන් කියන්නේ දන්න මොකද්ද හොඳයි කියලා නොදන්න එකාට වඩා. So that's what makes good. We know his caliber from the fast records, right? And also it improve the morale and the motivations of internal staff, right? Right. Okay, and it also facilitate the union relationships, right? And what are the disadvantages, right? The guy is not bringing new ideas. All set of the parallel hungry idea, right? And maybe there may be a lot of other factors effect. And now if you're going to recruit එක්කෙනෙක් ගන්න ගියාම ඇතුළේ ඉන්න තව 25 50ක් විතර තරහ වෙනවා. Why? එයා ගත්ත අපිව ගත්තේ නෑ. එයා ඉතින් අපි බොසාලට අල්ලන්නේ නෑ. Lot of stories comes, right? අපිත් ඉතින් එහෙම හිටියනම් හොඳයි. අපිත් එනවා. Then a lot of people are dissatisfied and satisfied. Right? There are advantages as well as disadvantages of internal recruitment. And as well as the external recruitment also, you have advantages and disadvantages like this, right? So, and also one of the advantages, they bring new ideas, new skills, right? And very easy to train them. Right. So then what are the disadvantages? Highly costly because you have to spend more time to recruit people, right? And earlier on this, right? So therefore, there may be a new techniques available to outside recruitment. You can use internet, you can use press advertisement, you can put an advertisement in the places like IBSL or universities, right? And you can get people. So there are various methods. So whatever the method you are using, internal or external, what is the main objective of recruitment is to get more number of people, qualified number of people for next stage of the HR. So what is the next stage? The next stage is the selection, right? And the recruitment is bad. Your selection also wrong. So what is selection? Selection means process of finding most appropriate candidate to fill the vacancy out of the pool of candidates. Now you understood, right? But still the no question asked on this, right? Examiner can ask, what is the difference between uh, recruitment and selection, right? A lot of students get confused. These are our same. No, you know, as an HR student, you know what is the difference between recruitment and selection. So now you know what is recruitment. Recruitment is collecting more number of potential candidate who are having required qualification. More number. Now get the example, right? For to recruitment of CEO. So now you have 100 of people was applied for that job, CEO. That's good. That means so you are having equally number of people, qualified people. So now you are going to select best out of best, best out of best. So selection is aimed at choosing the best person for the job. So suppose if you have your recruitment is wrong, you have a all meticulous to your. So whatever selection of a bad guy from the pool of candidate is there, right? If you're done your recruitment, qualified people, pool of potential candidate, and a chitrape, you know, there's a ඉස්සර ඇඩ්ඩේකුත්ගේ කාව තෝර ගන්නද මන්දගේ අර ෆොටෝස් ටිකක් බලලා ඒ ෆොටෝස් ගහුවේ මොකක් ඇයි එහෙම ගහුවේ අර ෆොටෝස් ගහලා තියෙන ඔක්කොම කොඩැක් ෆිල්ම්ස් වලින් ගහලා තියෙනවා ඒක තමයි මේ කැටය ලස්සන වගේ පේනවා ඒක බයි that is not a good recruitment, right? Why? You have the wrong people also. But what is recruitment is having set of qualified talented pool of candidate. So then your next job is very easy. What is the next job? Selection. If your recruitment wrong, your selection is going to wrong. Why? Selection is what you're going to select the best from the pool of candidate, that is from the recruiter. Right? Okay. So therefore, selection process need to ensure that you are taking the correct people, the right fair manner, and a cost effective way. Okay, now I think you understood selection. Now, how we are going to select? How we are going to select? Now you have people, set of potential candidate. So how we are going to select the best out of this? So there is a techniques, objectives. So what is objective here? To get the right person for the right job. And also, and to maintain the image and get the cost-effective manner, right? Those are objectives. So let's look at it now. Why it is important? Suppose, as I told you, if you select the wrong person, what happened? So it's impact your entire organization, right? So therefore, taking correct person play an important for the organization, right? Okay, so just simple thing, but it is important because he may leave the organization if you are took the wrong person, right? If you are select the wrong person, he may not in the organization, but he cannot perform his job properly. He leave the organization. Then whatever you have to regenerate the entire process. That process is costly, time consuming. Right? So therefore the selection also very important. If you take the wrong person, he may leave the organization. He may underperform. So therefore selection you need to do. Now what is the selection process? Okay, now you have the screen of application. You can do a test. Now for the banking assistant, you can, I think some of you before you join the bank, you may go for test. ICQ test, IQ test, a lot of tests, right? I think some of you are given this. And then what happens? Once you're shortlisted, you are given for a test. And after once you completed, you passed the test, you may go for interviews. And once you pass the interviews, you may have the references checks. They will ask references. They will call you the known parties. How about you and blah blah, right? And also, sometimes, most of the time, in a bank, you must go for medical examination. You are fit and proper, not for that uh, corporate governance. You are medically fit to do that job. Okay, so there may be a lot of type of tests can be done. Intelligence, cognitive ability test, that means your IQ test, aptitude test, your personality test, situational test. Now, what do you mean by the situational test? Sometimes they give you at the interview also they will ask some question from you, uh, and put you into trouble, uneasy conditions, and then you see how you tolerate all these conditions. There are a lot of tests can be done for you to select. All these interviews, tests done to select the best out of the best, right? And also interviews also can be different type, one to one, like this. For a job like higher positions, they may have one to one interview. Sometimes you have a panel interview, right? There are different type of interviews can be taken place based on your job, right? All these methods, different type of interviews, different type of tests, is why to select the best out of best from your recruit. Okay, right. Okay, because why? If your poor selection, as I told you, it's a direct cost for re-advertising, right? And time wasting for your HR department. And so what are the hidden costs? He may not perform well, so therefore productivity is coming down, right? So a lot of direct and indirect cost involving it if you are selecting the wrong person, right? Now see, so you have selected one person to the job, right? You have selected one person to the job. Then what is the next job is what you call is hiring, and that is what you call hiring. So what is in hiring in procurement process mean, once the best applicant is identified, and you will offer as from an appointment letter. And once you given the appointment letter, you can option whether to accept the offer letter, appointment letter, or not. So you can further negotiate the terms, conditions, salaries, or whatever, depend on your organizations and depend on your position, right? If the both parties agreed and they gave you an appointment letter, right? That is what you call hiring, right? Hiring. Till such time, both parties can reject the offer, right? Hiring means the appointment. Now, you as IABF students, right? Once you hired, and they give you another set of two things under banking law, right? What are the things you give to him with the appointment letter? When you accept it, they give another two documents. What are these things? Now we'll ask from you all whether you will remember what all these things. Can anybody tell me what are the two other things? So okay, now you appointed, so you were given as a say junior executive or banking assistant. You hired, that means you obtained the appointment letter. With the appointment letter, usually you get another two agreements signed. What are these two agreements signed? At least one important thing, how you call that letter or how you call that agreement. Anybody? We have learned under customer protection. What is that? Two things you sign. Anybody can just give me no idea. Huh? What are the two things you sign once you got the appointment letter? Huh? One thing is con confidentiality, secrecy. So you are getting writing. What's the other one? Customer charter. Right? With the appointment letter, the other extra two things for a bank employee usually get uh, agreements confidentiality, which is that is what section Banking Act section 77, 1988, section 77, right? Other one is customer charter. So employee both has to sign all these two documents in addition to your normal appointment letter. So these things comes into your mind, right? When these, even though we are studying HR, because we are studying banking exam, right? Okay, right. Then we, once you get the hiring, now you may working in the bank. Now you see whether you go through this all these process. So you will recall, no? අයියෝ නේ මම පත්තරයක් දැම්මා ඉන්ටර්විව් ගියා විභාගය ලිව්වා ඊට පස්සේ ආවා appointment letter එක දුන්නා නේද? So you are maybe just banking assistant, maybe immediately go without having any problem, but for big post you can't go like that. No, right? Then after that, what happened? Once you got your appointment letter, so now you was requested to, you was asked to come such and such a day, assuming duties. Then what you're going to do? Are you put into the job immediately? No. So then what happened? That immediate training you gave to you is called inductions, or sometimes we call orientation period. Orientation period. Now, systematically, you are formally introducing to you employee job, new employee introducing formally to the job environment, and to the organization is called induction program. So there, through the induction program, so you were basically try to familiarize the job and the organization. That is the purpose of induction and orientation program, right? But apart from that, sometimes once you get the appointment letter, sometimes you were not permanent as you join. Now you are given a certain period of time during which a new employee who has hired for a permanent post work for an organization, right? Just to see whether you are still fitting. Then during the probation period, you are not performing well, or you are not up to the expectation, the management can or employer can terminate your job, right? You need to provide a bit reason for that, right? Prove reason for that, right? So the initial training given to the newly recruited or newly hired person, we call induction. So what is the objective of induction? In that case, right, to benefit of orientations, familiarize for you the job as well as to the environment, right? Because it may be your first job, you have to be familiarized with your job and you have to be familiarized to your organization. So therefore, the first training program given by the bank to employee once you hired, we call orientation, right? Because and then you become a productive employee, right? If I'm not given induction program, so you may don't know what is you're not familiarized, so you become an unproductive employee. So it is a duty of banks to convert you for productive employee. It is important to familiarize to the job as well as to the organization. That we gave, usually they give orientation program, or we call them induction program. So what are the things? What are the things you obtain, or what are the things provided by the management or in the orientation program. So examiner can ask you, right, what type of what are the contents you may included in the newly recruited or newly hired employees, right? Okay, so there are so many things. Bank history, bank policies, bank vision, bank philosophy, bank missions, bank product and services, bank plans or facilities, organizational structure, hierarchy, how many branches, so many things. And also some important points there. They talk about the human resource, disciplinary code, code of conduct, then what else? Then they will give you how many leaves you are entitled, some HR issues, management issues, all the things about the organization, about the industry, right? Things you need to know, right? So you can think. So if a question comes like that, if you are a bank employee, you can just recall what you have learned. So you can put it, right? Usually they talk about the organization history, organization philosophy, missions and all. What are the product and services they are? They can market the products, knowledge about the product, knowledge about the competitor, knowledge about the bank, knowledge about the industry, knowledge about the HR and things like that. Usually give you comes under the orientation program, right? Okay, so now what are the areas we learn today, right? We learn job design, job analysis, human resource planning. What else? Then we discuss recruitment, and then we discuss selection, we discuss hiring, we discuss induction program. So those are functions of human resource management, right? So then next week, what you're going to learn? We are going to learn. Uh, we are going to learn what you call uh, performance management, performance appraisal. While you're working, we need to evaluate you whether you're working or not. Then we need to further nourish some competencies. We want to develop your competencies. So for that, training and development, why it is important. And then we have a disciplinary procedures, grievances procedures, so labor relations. So all things we are going to discuss the next week, right? Clear? Any questions about HR up to now? Right? So very interesting. So examiner's famous question is succession planning, induction program, human resource planning, job design, motivation, job analysis. Right. I hope I have done that part in detail. Okay. Any questions? ඉතින් නිකන් හරි එවන්නකෝ නිකන් yes sir, understood sir, clear sir, no questions sir කියලා. Then only I am motivated. No, I don't know, I can't see you on this is online, no, right? So why don't you send me, because it's a two ways important, right? Two way you can just I know a lot of students are uh, going through this our presentations when they are at the very leisure times, but I'm always telling better to join lively, because you can understand, ask questions also and get an advantage. Okay, have you understood now about HR? We have to learn some more, right? Because we have some time also. So why I have stopped little early today, not stopped, because we need to go for what? Question and answers, right? Okay, so I hope you understood. Taranga, you got Dilukshi, no problem, right? Nachima, you okay? Right? Okay, thank you. Then how about Sumandi, right? Okay, right, okay, thank you. So now, then we may go for questions now. Are you ready for questions now? Okay, first take now, we'll go for questions, right? Which paper we have done it? We have done it 2014. We have done, no? Right. Okay. So now take March 2015. So I think all is paper with you. Please take March 2015. Right? We try to complete all these question papers, right? While like going through, because we are going to end most probably, on end September, right? So we need to do a marketing also, right? Mind you, right? So we have enough time, but we better to go through questions as well. Take March 2015. Okay, March 2015. Take March 2015 paper. Okay, are you ready? Go. Okay, what done? Let them done, right? Right. March 2015. See whether it is paper is there. No, no. You have the paper now. I can read the paper, right? March 2015. Right. Okay. Read the first question. And now just 20 marks for first question, right? Now I'm before telling you what is your pass mark. Pass mark is 45. So if you can, question number one is compulsory, right? Question number one is compulsory. So see whether your questions papers are here. No, this is not there. Right, right. Okay. Now your question paper, first question paper is compulsory. Now your pass mark is 45. Now you need to answer another four questions. But the first question is being a compulsory question. If you can earn, I know you can earn 16 to 18 marks. So once you earn 16, 18 marks, because I'm also marking papers, right? Not English papers, right? So I mark the single paper. I, with my past, so 50 years of experience of paper marking and teaching this subject also, a student who got higher marks for question number one definitely passed the exam. Because very easy, you see, there is a five questions, right? What is that? MCQ. Tactic took. Right now, you are set for A level exam, no? So you see how difficult all these answers are almost same, very difficult to select. Now here, not that. Definitely two questions, two answers are not relevant at all. So your probability is now bring down to 50-50. That means they can get so easy. So therefore, 10 marks you can easy put ping up ping marks here, right? So try to get 10 marks from first five. The first five is MCQ. The next five is short notes, right? Short answers, maybe Adilian and Deba, right? Short answers. That also you can at least you earn 2-3 questions answer. So that's around 16. Now 16 got it. That means how you are only 30 marks are remaining to earn, provided that you are going to pass, right? Then what happened? Four questions, 20 into 4, 80. 80 of 30 is how much? Easy. So therefore, concentrate your first question very well, right? Okay, that is why I want to pay more attention. And you see a lot of repetition also coming, right? Okay, now first take March 2015 as an example. Which one of the following is read with me, right? And also I am not expecting you, and I would very much appreciate it if you can put the answer. You only put A, B, like that you give me the answer, then I'm happy, you are working here, right? Okay, answer the following multiple choice. Which one of the following is the best option to place your deposit for a short period of time with high interest, with high interest margin? Now I told you, if a question comes like that, we need to look at it two aspects, right? One aspect is who is going to deposit the money, the characteristic of a person, whether he's a risk averse guy, risk seeker, risk lover, or seeks neutral. And then also you need to look at the characteristic of the instrument, the product, right? What are the character? Then you match these two. That simple as that. Always, if a question comes like that, please look at it. Okay, now which one of the following is the best option to place your deposit for a shorter period of time with high interest margin? Right. What may be the answer? Can anybody just put A, B, C, or D? Right. Now I'll tell you. Uh, yes. Correct answer. I got it. Right. Okay. Now, now, what is the two answers? Good. What is the two answers you can easily eliminate it? Now, suppose if you don't know the answer, suppose you don't know the correct answer. Now, for example, you don't know the correct answer. Then you see there are two questions, two answers given. It's not mean. So you can straight away omit, deleted two answers. What is the two answers? B and D. Is not be the correct answer. Why? Why I say B and D is not the correct answer? Simple. Now see B. Look at this B answer B. Term deposit. What do you mean by a term deposit? It's a fixed deposit. The term deposit can be 3 months, can be 6 months, can be 1 year. You don't know. Then look at the question D, 3 months fixed deposit. If B is correct, D also correct. Understood? Right? So therefore, it is definitely not the B and a D. So then is remaining A and C. So usually you are getting a shortest time is saving is the lowest interest rate you are getting. No, so therefore, at least if you don't know about the answer, you can guess and say answer is C. That is called deposits. Okay, right. Now we move into the second one. Right now, second one still we have not done. So the okay, so we try to do that one, right? So you see, which one of the following still we have not done? We are going to do next week. But you can answer, I think. Which one of the following can be used by an institution to identify the real training needs of the new employees? Right? I think you all now you know at least you what may be the answer. Okay, just try really what may be the answer. Now I know you can eliminate D. No, now why you can eliminate D is not the correct answer. Why? Because you know what is job description, right? This description talk about the job. It's nothing to do with identify your training needs. No, right? So therefore, not the D. Right. Okay. Good. I got correct answer. I got the correct answer. Then, not the goal setting. No, goal setting is something you're going to set for the future. So, job evaluation and the job competency mapping we have not done. Job evaluation we are going to discuss also next week. Right. Okay. I see. I'm getting the correct answer. Job evaluation means value worth of the job. Job evaluation means worth of the job, where it may be facilitated to determine your salary is called worth job evaluation. So that is what we call competency mapping. Okay, competency mapping. I will explain to you in detail what is competency mapping and things like that. Answer is what you said is correct. Now look at question number 3. What may be the correct answer? Now we have learned this one. I need straight answer. Sri Lanka Deposit Insurance Scheme premium required by paid member institution on eligible deposits. I cannot remember. They said institutional eligible deposit. Why they put eligible deposit? There may be deposits not eligible. Now this time remember the examiner can may ask from you what are the eligible deposit. Okay, what may be the answer? Right, 01 B answer is B. Why? 01 to 015. Now further analysis you can done it, no, from if your capital adequacy ratio is more than 14%, what is the premium you need to pay from eligible? Only 0.1. Okay, other banks can pay only 0.125. So 0.15 to be paid by whom? All finance companies. So the range is from 0.1 to 0.1.5, but we think that there are another range is called what? 0.125. Which, what are the qualified banks for 1425? The banks who are having less than 14% capital adequacy ratio. 14%, less than 14% capital adequacy ratio is charging 0.125. 0.1 is more than 14% capital adequacy ratio, and for all finance companies you need to pay how much? You need to pay 0.15. Remember, on monthly, whereas the banks need to pay on quarterly, right? Okay, right. Next one, question number 4. Now, question number 4. Now, for the same question, how you call the new deposit insurance scheme? We'll see, ask the same. Now we see, when you're answering one question, you can answer so many questions on that, right? How you call the Sri Lankan deposit insurance schemes from 2013 onwards? They have changed their name. How you call the present liquidity scheme? Huh? We call them as deposit insurance and liquidity support schemes from 2013, right? We call them as deposit insurance and liquidity support scheme. Okay, what is the separate department which handle the deposit insurance scheme in Sri Lanka and the central bank? How you call that department? What am I saying, right? It's a what is the department in central bank which is handling deposit insurance scheme in Sri Lanka? What is that? Resolution and Enforcement Department of Central Bank, right? Resolution and Enforcement Department of Central Bank. A separate department. Earlier it was handled by Banker Supervision Department, right? It is no more now. Now there's a separate division who handle this. Okay, what is the maximum amount you can get from under the deposit scheme? Is called per customer, per bank, per institution is 600,000 per customer, per bank, right? What is the finance company who got recently issued all these money? Not what's the insurance company? Sorry, what is the finance company releasing these 600,000 to customers? Latest finance company? Anybody? Huh? You can have a two, no? One is Swarna Mahal Investment and ETI. Okay, so these things also you must need to know, right? Good, ETI. And also Swarna Mahal Investment, right? Before that, the finance. Okay, good. Then you see, now one question we answer, you see we can you can ask so many other questions. That is why it is important to answer these MCQs, right? Question number 4. What is the question number 4? The Financial Intelligence Unit in Sri Lanka was established under what law? What's the answer? Right? FIU, you know, comes where okay, I didn't get it. Okay, put it again, Puta. I didn't see. I look at it something else. What's the answer for question number 4? Right. Question number is right. Financial Transaction Reporting Act. Very good. Now, Financial Transaction Reporting Act also inform banks to obtain two things. What are the two things they emphasize banks to obtain? KYC and CDD. KYC and CDD. Good. Now, question number 5. Which one of the following is not a debt market instrument? Right? Simple, no? What is a debt market instrument? What is not a debt market instrument? Right. Okay. So a debt market instrument is stock, right? Stock market. But mortgage is a debt market instrument. Why? So what do you mean by now? If you want to take a housing loan, you mortgage your property, right? So mortgage is a debt instrument, right? So answer is stock. Stock is a investment, right? Stock is an investment, right? It's a capital market instrument. Stock is a capital market instrument. So short-term instrument means what you call commercial papers, right? Short-term instruments, right? Okay. Right. Now we move to the other side of that, 2015, right? What credit rating, right? What is credit rating? You know, according to the customer charter, every banks, every financial company need to obtain a credit rating from a reputed credit rating company. Right. Now the question is asking, credit rating is identified as, what may be the correct answer? What they are trying to do? Right? Answer is, any guesses? Any guesses? Right. Okay, guess is correct. This is an overall assessment of the credit risk. Right. Answer is B. Right. Credit rating, what you are trying to do, we are going to get a overall estimating of the credit risk. Right. Okay, very good. So now question number 7 is something called conflict of interest in marketing principles. Now, so okay, I will explain to you now what is conflict of interest, right? Say for an example, I just give you a very simple example so you will understand. Now, conflict of interest, very famous one, right? Conflict of interest. Now, think I am a director of a bank, say Sampath Bank, for example. I am a director. I am not a director, but I am a director of a Sampath Bank, right? I am also what you call AC company. I am also shareholder of a, say, Abans. Say, for example, I am also a shareholder, or being the director of a Abans company limited, who manufacturing AC. Right now, I am a director of a Sampath Bank, also director of a Abans, where you manufacturing, installing ACs. Now, there's a tender comes for the Sampath Bank for installing new ACs to the entire Sampath Bank branches. They put a tender. So usually such a big tender will be evaluated by the board of directors. Now what happened now? Now my prime objective is to get the best from the Sampath Bank point of view, best quoted price for bank. Best quoted price for bank. That is my first primary objective. Okay. Now, whatever. Now, being, I also want to get the order to the Sampath Bank also from Amas, because I have a secondary obligations for Amas as well. So then I have a conflict of interest of Sampath as well as Abbas. Now, that is what you call conflict of interest. A conflict of interest is a set of circumstances that create a risk that a professional judgment across primary interest and the secondary interest. You got my point now, right? I think you understood what you mean by a conflict of interest very clearly. Now, took me that example into your mind, right? And I have to take the professional decision. I have what is the professional decision I have to take? So which one is best? So when I can't take a professional decision because I have a conflict of interest. I have interest of Sampath. I also have an interest of Abbas. Now I have a conflict of interest. That is what you call conflict of interest, right? Set of circumstances where the primary interest will be unduly influenced by the secondary interest, right? The primary interest is unduly influenced by secondary interest. Okay, right? You got my point now. Okay, if you want to write down, you can write down, right? Uh, set of circumstances, circumstances, right? Regarding primary interest will be unduly influenced by the secondary interest. Example එක දාගන්න. මතකයිනේ මගේ එතකොට මගේ first interest එක සම්පත් එක. හැබැයි ඒක unduly influence කරනවා මොකද්ද? Abans එක. So that is I have a conflict of interest. Right. Okay? Right. So then the next one. What is the difference between permanent overdraft and a temporary overdraft? That also we have done it, right? What is permanent permanent overdraft? Overdraft, remember what is the principle? Overdraft we are usually giving for well relationship customers, right? Good customers only we are giving. So what is the difference between permanent overdraft and temporary overdraft? Right? What may be the differences? Right? Permanent overdraft is usually for a longer period, right? Need to provide security, whereas a temporary overdraft, right? Certain requirement, working capital requirement, usually for 3 weeks, right? Not necessarily to have a security, but usually higher rates than OD. Okay, right? So the differences, right? Shorter, usually for 3 months. Longer, with a security. Without security is given by the what is casual overdraft. Apart from this, all these temporary and permanent overdraft requested by the customer, but the casually overdraft is given by the manager itself based on the customers relationship. But OD is payable on demand, right? That is important, right? Okay, so we learned a little bit of that also, right? So then so we just finish and go, right? Section 77 of the Banking Act covers provision, most important aspect of customer information. How do you call this information? We learned little while ago, and that is what you call confidentiality or secrecy. That is what we obtain under HR, right? Remember we discussed. Okay, so what are the stages in product life cycle? We have not done yet, but you can write down introduction, or you can put development, introduction, growth, maturity, decline. So we will discuss under marketing, but you can, if you want, you can write introduction. So you can start with development or introduction, whatever. Introduction, growth. Remember the curve, right? Introduction, growth, maturity, decline. So PLC, we are going to discuss in detail. Okay, so we have done this, and I want to do a much more questions, but we will things going on. We'll do the next one, right? Okay, so next week you try to do March 2016 and September 2000. March 2015, September 2015 and 2015-16. So try to answer and keep it ready. We will discuss at the classroom, right? Okay, thank you very much. So we'll see you on next Sunday. Please join with me because it's good for us you all to learn while I'm lively lecturing, right? Okay, then you're studying very easy. Okay, see you on the next Saturday, next Sunday.